Manager is really a nice person, so special shouts out to her. And also to my lovely wife, Jean. She has so many hands in so many different things. I know everybody saw that wagon, right? That wagon that went down the aisle with my granddaughter, our granddaughter in it. And that wagon was made from Jean's wedding dress from when we were married 38 years ago, and the bow was from her bow, and it was really special about that. Now, I'm kind of glad, to be honest, to see it go. I was a little worried about what was in store, so I was kind of glad to see that. I hope everybody had a chance to see all the pictures we've been gathering on the tables and the slideshow we put together. We had a lot of fun getting those out and the pictures in the hall. Going through all the pictures really meant a lot. It's not often you bring them out of the boxes. Yes, ours are in boxes, and go through them and take a look at them, and all these memories of the years just come flooding back. And we were obviously looking for lots of pictures of Angela, and Brian and Jane were looking for a lot of pictures of Chris, and it was great. We found tons, and you see the result of that. But the one thing, I started looking at all the pictures of you, Angela, and I kept looking at all the pictures, and I'm going, there's a pattern here. There's a pattern of all these pictures, and she just kept performing. She was performing in all of those things, all these events. And it started when she was 2. And she was dancing at Burton Park on stage in her little tutu. We have video, we'll put it up on the internet for you. And dancing in her tutu up on the stage, and it was just adorable, doing a little dancing. She danced all the way through high school, danced in the high school team and everything else. And she was always loved preparing for the event, performing in the event, and then remembering the event. So for Angela, it all seemed to be about events. She was on a lot of sports teams. She played volleyball, basketball, soccer, anything we told her to play, she played. And she loved them all, and it was great. I got a chance to coach several of her teams, which is, well, never coached 13-year-old girls. Let me say that. I'll say everything else was great, but not 13-year-old girls. And so it was great to see that. But there she was again, practicing for those performances, the events, and then being in the sporting events. And then remembering the events, fondly. And then singing, oh my gosh. The little wee 2-year-old church choir, and then she sang to Illumina, and she toured, and she sang in solos, and she was in school musicals and everything else. And again, preparing, performing, and remembering. It was just amazing. And then I'll finish with a French horn. Okay, so all of our kids and I played French horn. Now I did not force them into playing French horn.
Oh yeah, sure.
There were a lot of instruments around that happened to be French horns, okay? And they happened to play them. So, and I think the boys will join me in recognizing that Angela was the best. I mean, she was the best. She was the best. And so, and again, practicing. Angela went all the way to played in college and everything else. And but I'll tell you, I am not a tenth as nervous as I was. The most nervous I've been in my life was when Angela had a solo at Carnegie Hall. So she was in 8th grade? Yeah. 8th grade. And so she's so she's touring with an orchestra, a traveling orchestra at Carnegie Hall. And if anyone's been to Carnegie Hall, you can hear a pin drop in that place. And I remember sitting in the stands. I played French horn, and I was all shaken anyway myself. And now my daughter's playing a solo, and I will remember that. That was just crazy. I was up in the stand, just like, and Jean, you remember that? Yeah. I almost fell out of the balcony, and it was just like this. Oh my God! And it was such a well, it was thrilling when you nailed it. Thank you. I could survive the rest of the day. But anyway, that was great. I really enjoyed that. So anyway, I just want to say that she's got this whole thing of performing and events and doing all this stuff. So Angela and Chris, he used to come over a lot, and he would spend hours at our house sitting on the couch with Angela, and they would watch Bridezillas. And they would watch what else? Project Runway. Yes. They loved the reality shows. Or at least Angela loved the reality shows. Chris loved Angela loved the reality. It all worked out. And so they I remember a lot of that, and they, I didn't realize at the time, I thought it was kind of a waste of time, to be honest, but I didn't realize at the time that she was kind of practicing for her career. And here she was, practicing and watching drama and excitement, how to deal with it and everything else. And now, Angela's regional director at this place, as many of you know. She's got a job she loves. I mean, how many of us can say that you have a job that you love? She got apparently a promotion. Anyway, well, you're not. She's a general manager. I expect her to be regional manager by next year. But I mean, just my point is that this really was kind of her goal and her dream. And she achieved it. And she's doing things now as a manager of people that it took me 20, 30 years to get to. I mean, you know, hiring and dealing with personnel problems and everything. So I'm just so proud of her. I'm so proud of her for how she takes care of things and how she's really developed into a strong young woman like her mother. So, I'm very thankful. So now she's married to Chris, right? So I got a couple things here. Okay, so everybody, I think everybody knows that Angela's been married before. If you saw the video outside, she was married at 85 to Travis, but we had that know, and so it's okay. So Chris, you are the first. I want you to know that. So we've got Chris, and we love Chris. We obviously known Chris for a long time, and he's been over a lot. He's gone to our family functions. He's done all kinds of things. So we love Chris. We've really kind of adopted him long ago. So this is just a formality, and it's been great. Now. Chris has been, you know, when I was thinking about him, I was thinking about, okay, is this going to be okay, right? This wedding thing. I was thinking, okay, let's see, we got credentials. Let's go. We got Eagle Scout, right? College graduate. Yeah, okay. Good job. Good family. And he plays basketball. This guy's okay. So we'll allow him to stay. I got more to say. So anyway, oh yeah. So hopefully you saw the dance pictures on the way in. The dance pictures in the hallway. Now those are from the formal dances that Angela and Chris went to since 8th grade, and those pictures were placed on the Angela's bedroom wall, right at the top. And every single invitation that she got, she put up there. She put the picture in its original frame from those photographer guys, and she had the original bouquet that Chris had given her. And they were across the wall up in Angela's room for all those years. And you know, it was, so, you know, the way I think of it is, Chris has always been staring down at us, sort of, like all these years, he's always been there, right? He's always been looking at us. And so he's been there, and he's been there for our family, and we've seen him, and you know, it just means a lot, I think, to show how much they love each other and take care of each other in all these years of being together. And you can see that in those pictures. You see how happy they are and how well they've done. So now, sorry. So I just want to tell a quick story about when Chris proposed. So, not proposed. I didn't know that. But when Chris asked for your hand in marriage. So I got a text on a Friday afternoon, about 3 in the afternoon, and Chris said, "Can we talk?" I said, and I don't get a lot of texts from Chris. So I wonder what that is. And so anyway, my wife and I happened to be leaving the next day for a 2-week trip to China. So I'm thinking maybe he was pushed along a little bit on that one, but maybe not. And so Chris did come over on his own, and he came over, and Jean said, "Well, do you want dinner?" I said, "Oh, okay." So she made him dinner, and then we gave him some beer. Sure, we gave him some beer, and you want to chat? And we talked. We talked for what, 2 hours? Not about. No. So we had a couple hours talking, and then Chris finally manned up. I remember it so fondly, and I was very, very happy. And we made our night for sure, and as well as many times since. So we're very happy that this has come true. Now, the one thing I did want to do is pass on words of wisdom, right? Because I'm a wise guy. And then I was thinking about it. I was thinking, well, wait a minute. I am who I am because somebody who actually has some wisdom and some brains has helped me be who I am. So Jean's going to help me with this.
up quite a lot. And I think many of us see that in their relationship, there's one that is louder than the other. But the interesting thing is that they both have a lot to say to each other. Like if you watch them, they're always talking. They have a lot to say. You just have to not be watching, and then they have a lot to say. But I realized about when, I think Angela was like 14, and we were driving back from Davis when my mom was sick, and she was in the back seat of the car, and you know how your kids always tell you stuff in the car because it's kind of more neutral? And so she starts telling me something she's really upset about. She's crying, but she finally told me about something she was really worried about. And so we're talking, like me driving and her behind me in the seat crying, and I'm like, well, what made you finally tell me what's going on? She goes, well, Chris told me I should talk to my mother. And I thought, well, that's amazing, because that's such good common sense. And there have been many times when Chris came through and said, Angela, you know, I mean, like, I don't hear him say it, but it comes through. He has very good logic and sense. And so, in future years, when you have your Owens family meetings like we do, and you talk about what should be going on and what should be happening, Chris, I want you to have this gavel. When Angela was Tierra Linda's first president of the student council, she was given this gavel. So whoever has the gavel may speak. Woo! And the other must listen. We always take turns because remember, that's how it works. You get two sides. So, two folks, keep listening.
Okay, so we actually do have a toast. So please get your glasses.
Oh, I don't have anything in my toast.
You have a toast.
All right, there we go.
Okay.
Okay,
Good.
good.
Okay.
All right, there we go.
Yeah, of course.
We're ready.
So, now you may have read, hopefully in the program, that Angela's middle name is McAllister. So Angela does come from the Scottish heritage. Her great-grandfather, Peter McAllister, emigrated from Scotland in 1910. And so the Scottish kind of clan concept has been very much in our lives through Highland dancing and other things. You saw the piper out there and things like that. So I did go and research and found a traditional Scottish toast that we want to use tonight. But my brogue, when I do a Scottish brogue, it sounds like a pirate. So I thought, you know, it could be fun to do a pirate toast, but it wouldn't be appropriate. So I've asked Bruce Michelle, my brother-in-law, who is of Scottish descent, and can do a proper Scottish
I have to go
accent
over here.
Provide the toast. So Bruce will provide the toast this evening. Just a moment.
May the hinges of friendship never rust, or the wings of love lose a feather.
To Angela and Chris.